All right, everybody, happy Wednesday night. Sandra Delbeck from Lebanon, Ohio. It is the last day of March, which is incredible to me that we actually are through March. You know, February flew by, especially since we all had goals we were trying to meet in February, and then your three less days in February, and then March, since we had the extra days, it just felt like it was even longer than those 3 extra days. But you know what? I'll take it. I think we will all take it. Having those extra days and so forth. So now, with that being said, yes, today is the last day of March. However, that does not mean that the night is completely over. If you have a goal and you are trying to reach that goal, just remember it's not over until the lady sings, and so we still have several hours before the end of the night. And so if you've got goals you are running for, if you are running for like 4K, or an unofficial rank of maybe 8K, and you're not there yet, you still have time to make those things happen. Get into Messenger. We know that everything that's done in Messenger, there's just magic that happens in Messenger, and especially when you use your voice. So one of the things y'all know about me is that I like to start with the positives. And so we're going to start with that to begin with. And what I'd like for you to do really quick is just write anywhere from 3 to 5 things that you are grateful for in the last 24 hours. One of the things I have on my grateful list is I'm grateful for our leaders, because if it weren't for the leaders in this company, from Paul, Jason, all the way down to each of one of you, because if you are on here, that means you are a leader and you are a part of a team, or you lead your own team, or you're both as well. And so you yourself as a leader are leaders. And I know for a long time I never thought of myself as being a leader. I was more like the follower, um, and so forth. But I think it's really important for us to embrace that role, that we each, in and of ourselves, are leaders. Um, our customers are looking up to us as the leaders for them. And we all know that happy customers make happy promoters. And when you have connected with them in that positive way, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, I cannot wait to be a part of her team. And so you already are building that relationship, and you've got those leadership qualities that I think a lot of times we ourselves don't think we really and truly have, if you know what I mean. All right, so we've got our gratefuls, and now we're going to go ahead and move into our I ams really quick. All right, so if you've just joined us, we've done our gratefuls, we're doing our I ams, and now what I'd like for us to go ahead and do is I'd like for us to go ahead and move into birthdays. And whenever I do my birthdays, I write them down for about a week or two at a time in my little notebook. And I know everybody does things differently, and you have to find which organizational style works best for you. But one of the things I will say is that if you are in this business, you've got to be organized. Well, number one, we're all women on this screen right here. I'm not going to try to exclude any guy that's going to be dialing in later on. But if you're a woman, you know how to juggle a lot of different things, and you know how to be super, super organized. Now, there are sometimes I think I'm organized and I show up to the dentist on the wrong day. However, I was supposed to be somewhere. I don't know. We'll find out soon where I was supposed to be. But you do have to be incredibly organized. And so if you don't have your idea of who's got a birthday that next day and you're waiting till Facebook notifies you that morning, a lot of times, I don't know about y'all, but Facebook doesn't notify me until several hours into the morning as to who's got birthdays coming up. So the way that you can do that is you can actually go onto your Facebook, and where it will show you your notifications of who's got a birthday. You can click on that and then it will show you who's got upcoming birthdays. So you can get up as many of them written down as you possibly can. So right before we hopped on, I was sitting here and I was getting mine written down, and man, I've got 10 people who have birthdays on Sunday. Don't you know their birthday is going to get shafted because it's on Easter? So my message to them is going to be an extra special message because their birthday is on Easter Sunday. And I don't want them to get lost in the shuffle of celebrating Easter. I will say that once I started changing up how I did birthdays, it has been like amazing. I'm getting response back. Probably, let's say I have 10 birthdays and I'm sending out my birthday messages and so forth. I'm getting 9 people that respond back to me. So just about every single person responds back to me every single day when I do my birthday reach outs. That was not the case because mine used to get lost in translation. So that's why a lot of leaders will either do birthdays on the day before, or they'll wait until the day after and wish them a happy belated birthday. That way their birthday message does still stand out. So grab your names if you need to do that. I only have 2 for today, and I've already gotten those 2 ladies done. I also, next to their name, if it's someone that I want to offer a birthday goodie to, a Thrive birthday goodie to, I usually draw like a little birthday package or something out to the side. Now, I see a lady who's got a birthday coming up on Sunday. Well, last year I offered her a sample pack. She took it. She was excited about it, but she was nervous. Then she chickened out. I don't want to say chickened out, but then she got nervous about it. And I'm just going to remessage her this year. And I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I know that last year it wasn't the right time for you in that birthday sample. But I'm going to do some kind of a Thrive message because it's not that I haven't messaged her since then. We have had conversations. We know where things are and so forth. I'm going to say, sister, are you ready now? Are you open now to giving that Thrive birthday sample a try, giving it a whirl? Paul Gravett hates if you use the word try. So use the word give it a whirl. And that's actually some of the wording that we got from our training a couple Saturdays ago. And that was phenomenal. Don't let me forget, I want to talk about closing the sale before we completely finish tonight. Okay. So don't let me forget that, y'all. All righty. So you've got your birthdays. Now I want you to grab your second device. Let me go grab mine. My phone's on the charger real quick. Let me grab mine. Okay, I want you to log into your cloud. Always kicks me out. Now, one of the things that we usually do is we check our rate of run. That kind of tells us, oh, Elda, give it a whirl, WHIRL. Paul Gravett says, do you want to try it? Or the word try is like the kiss of death. Because that almost comes off as being really passive, like, well, I don't know if you're going to really like this, but do you want to give it a try? I will put the wording in here that I got for closing the sale. Just don't let me forget that we're going to talk about that. Okay. All right. So you're in your cloud office. I know we're on the last day of the month, and in doing our rate of run right now, it's pretty much going to be right at where you are, unless you've got some more orders and so forth coming in. So I want you to go to your business snapshot. Then we're going to take a look at setting our rate of run for and our goal for next month. So your business snapshot, you're going to look for your current QV. Take that number. I mean, it's really almost kind of redundant because it is the last day of the month. So pretty much what your QV is, unless you've got more orders coming in, it's going to be pretty much what it is. But like I said, it's not over until it's all over. Divide that by 31 days because we're on the 31st day. It's going to give you a smaller number. Take that small number and you multiply it by 31 because we have 31 days this month. Okay. And here's what's interesting. In doing rate of run, my QV is actually higher right now than what the rate of run turned out to be. Too wild. Okay. Not sure if I just messed up on my math or what, but so the reason that you check rate of run, and we started checking this several months ago on our team with Tammy. It was something that she had learned from Courtney Glazer because, you know, for all of y'all know, we have the rank of 4K, 12K, 40K, 80K, and then up to 200K. Well, we know that the jump between 12K and 40K, it's a substantial jump. Doesn't sound like it, but it really can be. So if you say, well, I just really want to I hope to get to 12K because, you know, 40 may be a little bit too high. Well, you're setting a limiting belief in yourself. And so if you give yourself, well, I want my rate of run to be 20K, 25K. Now we know that's not an official rank. Who cares? It's a rank you want to get to, you know, in a given month. And by doing your rate of run, it helps you to see the trajectory and know if you are coming in below target of what your goal is, or if you're coming in above target. And so that's why rate of run is super, super important. We used to have a graphic that showed us 3 times a month with the 3 auto ships, like where you should be. But that was only 3 times a month that you could really check and see where you were in regards to where you wanted to be. And that really wasn't enough to check it. So let's go ahead. I want you to open up your calendar to April really quick. We're going to go ahead and start setting some goals for April. All right, now I have my goal set for April. It is a huge goal. Yes, I could back it down by about $40,000, but you know what? I'm going to be big. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to leave it at this. So if this is my goal, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the number that's my goal. So let's say you have 12K as your end of the month goal. Okay. There are 30 days in the month. Divide it by 30. Okay. That gives you your daily average total that you and your team need to be getting every single day. That number that you just came up with, which mine like just scared the crap out of me because it was fairly big. I'm going to take that number and I'm going to multiply it. My calendar that I use ends on a Saturday. And so on Saturday the 3rd, I'm going to take the number that I got, that number that I told y'all just scared me, and I'm going to multiply it by 3. I hate solar calculators when you don't have a good light. Okay, by Saturday, I now know what my average is that I should have. Now I'll go back and I'll do this for my husband as well, because I have a goal for him. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, this finishing up March, I actually finished the month at my husband's goal, not my own goal. Now I'm going to take that number that I told y'all a while ago scared me, that daily number, and I'm going to multiply it by 10, which is the 10th of the month, which is a Saturday on my calendar. Since my week ends on a Saturday, that shows me where my goal is I need to be by then. I'm I'm going to do the same thing for the 17th. It gives me my goal. Y'all, these are some big numbers. I haven't seen numbers like this big in probably a year and a half when it comes to my volume. We've had a lot of people, you have people wax and wane, but guess what? My mug is still here. Okay. It does not matter. So this is a huge number compared to where we have been. And yeah, I'm going to tell y'all, it scares the heebie jeebies out of me, but I don't care. I'm going to just keep going. Now I'm going to multiply it by 24 because that's where the Saturday is. And then you'll take that number and multiply it by 30 because we have 30 days. Okay. So you have your weekly goal that you have set. And if you think about it, y'all, a lot of us are going to be traveling starting the 29th for Thrive-A-Palooza. So you're going to actually want to have the majority of these things done before you leave to come out of to go out of town. Because, once we go out of town, it's like, yes, we're going to be focused on our business. We're going to be doing our daily tasks and so forth. But you're going to want to have as much nailed down as you possibly can. You don't want to be trying to pull it out of your tail the last 2 days of the month when you're out of town. It just makes it crazy. Okay. Now don't let me forget, I'm not going to forget about closing this sale, but I want to show y'all something. Now, I don't know, and I think a lot of us that are on here, we all have a love-hate relationship with sample packs. When I got started, there was no such thing as getting a sample pack. I ordered a month of Thrive, sight unseen, didn't even know exactly what I was getting. That was faith, let me tell you, absolute faith. But nowadays, people, and I can understand it, people want a sample pack. They want to try before they buy. They want to experience. They want to give it a whirl before they buy. And in the past, I've just used the cute little gift bags, the cute little treat bags and things like that. Now, we know that in the Lavelle cloud, we can purchase the sample credits and then we can place an order and it will shoot the sample out to the person. And so for people that live far away from me, I use those a lot. I'll just go in there. I've already got them purchased. I can go in there. Okay, send it to Susie Q. Boom, it's on its way to Susie Q's house. The ones that that Lavelle sends out are in a really nice white box. They also have that person's email address and they're sending them emails. Hey, guess what? Your product has shipped, blah, 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 blah. Starts getting them primed, the pump primed, so to speak, so that you can come in and share with them about what's coming in their sample pack and things like that. That's where three-way chat groups are huge. Now, in the Lavelle Gear Store now, if you've not ever been into the Lavelle Gear Store, it is through your cloud under resources. I believe it's one of the bottom tabs under resources. In the Lavelle Gear Store, they have boxes that you can buy that are similar to the ones that Lavelle sends out with their sample packs. It's just a different color. And so when you buy them, they come flat and you have to put them together. They're not hard to put together. This is what size they turn out. Now, we've done the post where, dad bod, tired, exhausted mom, those kinds of things with the little Post-it notes on them. And, one person can do that post and they're going to get 50 people saying, I want a sample. They have to weed through that to find out who's legit or not. Somebody else can do the same post and it's crickets. Nobody's going to get anything. So I haven't done anything. I had not done anything with a sample post for a while because I just wasn't having the luck. So I ordered these and I actually did put product in them. I put my flyer in there. I put a vanilla mix, a chocolate mix, 2 women's packages, just an extra blast just for the fun. And then I only put in here 2 capsules, 2 packages of mixes, and 2 DFTs. And one of those DFTs is cut in half because we always start people on half day. Yes, exactly, Sonia. And you know what? Good thing they didn't take your sample because then that way you can use the sample for someone else. Now, this is where people have a love-hate relationship. You can choose to give your sample away. And if you do, please jot down how much that sample was worth. The average sample is $5 a day, just like your product is. And so don't give away the farm. If I'm giving away a 2-day like this, believe you me, I'm writing here on my calendar, $10 sample to so-and-so. I tally all of that up at the end of the month. That goes into my spreadsheet as product given away. That stuff adds up big time. And so I keep track of it on here if I'm giving it away, or I have a calendar that goes in my purse because this one will get torn up. This is my desk calendar. But y'all, I took a picture. Well, actually, I didn't. My neighbor did, because Charlie can't take pictures very well. I went outside to get my neighbor's wife to take a picture, and she was on the phone. I'm like, hey, Chris, can you do a picture for me? So I did the box, you know, like this, and I had my other boxes, and then I put a thing out in stories. And y'all, one of those samples turned into an order the other day. The other girl just got her sample thanks to snail mail. And then I've got 3 more going out. And I think I figured out why. Look at how professional this looks. These look really professional. This looks like it came straight from the company. This doesn't look like it was created in a back room in a Ziploc baggie. Now, yes, I had to pay for these boxes, but guess what? It's a business write-off. It's business supplies, product giveaway, whatever. You can write this off. Any little bit helps, because remember, you want to put in 40% before, so Uncle Sam doesn't try to take any more from you than they possibly have. But y'all, this, I think these boxes have changed for me what sampling looks like. Now, if you've not ever seen the smart sampling video with Maria, that is something I highly recommend that you watch. It is because at the beginning we were giving away the farm. People were taking our samples, running with them. We don't know what they did. They could have flushed them in the toilet for all we know. But this way it kept it. Now Lavelle's, I think, is a little bit different what they put in there, Elda, but what I put in there, this is what I put in, and it turns out to be a 3-day sample. Everybody can do something a little different, but I do 2 packages of capsules, 2 mixes, and 2 DFTs. Yes, exactly. 1 pack, 1 shake, 1 patch. That could be done in half, and they've got 2 days right there. So you can do it a couple of different ways. Exactly. And if you've got some of the little flyers, the 1, 2, 3 flyers from the company, I throw that in there, because people always want to have something that they can hold in their hand that's tangible, that they can read. And especially if they need to get, doctor's approval for some reason or another, or if they need to take it to their pharmacist. I put this in there, and I have my little business card attached to the front as well. One lady I took one to the other day, her father-in-law wants to thrive. He just overcame a health concern. So she's giving him his flyer, or giving him her flyer that came in her box, so that he can now take it to his physician and get approval and so forth. But y'all, I think it's the professionalism of how good this box looks. I think that's what has been key for me this time with samples. Now, we know we can't get orders very well unless people are sampling. So it's kind of like that whole catch-22 thing. You're caught between a rock and a hard place. Sometimes samples go great and sometimes they don't. But I can guarantee you that in order for a sample to go great, number one, part of smart sampling is you've got to have their email address. Nobody gets a sample from me anymore unless I have their email address. And I have verified it, and I've already made their free account. If it bounces back at me, then that's going to let me know, they may just be shopping around for free samples, because they will try to do that. And I'll say, oh, that email kicked back. Do you have a second email address that I can use? And if that one kicks back, I'm going to say, sister, I don't know what's going on, but I can't get the email to send you information about the product. Let me know when you have an email that I can use, something like that. Because there are people who will just shop around and try to get free product from free product and free product from everybody and their dadgum dog until they end up having a full month's worth. So that's just crap, and you and I know it, but sometimes people work that way. Okay. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the professionalism of how good those boxes look. Oh, I'm going to run out of time. Okay, we've talked about everybody being a leader, yada, yada, yada. each week I like to talk about different books and so forth, and I like to know what y'all are reading because I have a book list in my notes section on my phone that has 23 titles on it. And, my goal is just to read 12 to 15 books this year. And I've got a list of 23, but I love finding books. And you know how sometimes people will give you a book idea and the book is this thick and you have a hard time getting into it. Well, I'm going to give you a book idea that is super short. It's going to be a great one that you can read that's kind of in between some of the maybe the more heavier things. And some of y'all may have seen this. But anyway, a couple of years ago, 2 years ago this summer, I went to Chastity Marie's house in Texas, and it was a women in business type seminar deal. It was a really cool thing. She had her friend Michelle May O'Neill come and speak. Michelle is a top-notch lawyer in Texas, and she is known in the whole court system and so forth in Texas. She is known as hell on heels. She is a bad, you know what? She's amazing. Well, she wrote a book. It is a super short read, but it's wisdom from her mama. And I mean, the print looks like, for the people that have hard eyesight, because it's in big print, but it just is so good. I think I had it read in 45 minutes at the most. But one of the things that she talked about is that her mama loved to read anything by motivational speakers. And one of the people that her mama loved was Jim Rohn. Well, if you've been in Lavelle anytime, you've heard Paul Gravett talk about Jim Rohn or Jason Camper talk about Jim Rohn. And they say that he says that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I'm going to say that again, and I want you to think about who those 5 people are. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Who are your 5 people? Some of them may be your spiritual supporters. Sonia, I know. We'll have to explain that later on to Sonia. Am I out loud? Can he hear me? Okay. Sonia takes care of her husband, and it's not, she's a caregiver, and it is not an easy task, and God love her heart. We think about her all the time. So your 5 most influential people that you spend the time with, is it someone who's a spiritual supporter for you? Are they an encourager? Are they a leader in your network? Is it somebody who's always going to encourage you and support you? Or is it someone who's in your network and in your business, but they always want to have a dig? If it's somebody who's wanting to always have a dig, that's not one of the 5 most important people you want to be in your circle. And it's okay to change your circle. It really and truly is. My circle in this team, in my own team, has changed in some ways. But what that opened up was for opportunities for other people to come into this circle. For some folks, this business is meant for them. But after a while, they realize maybe this is not what I'm geared to cut out for. And that's okay. We're always going to be here. We're not going anywhere. But it does open up the blessings for someone else to come in. And it just keeps opening blessings. Not saying that I have a revolving door, but it is mind-boggling when some of the new folks come in and you're like, oh my gosh, look at what you're bringing to the team. It's just really refreshing and so forth. So I want you to really, truly think about who are those 5 personalities that you're spending that are in your circle. And her mama used to tell her, girl, only run with the race horses. There's 3 types of horses: race horses, work horses, and nags. I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to run with the race horses. And I want my team to feel like they're running with a racehorse. I had to learn a lot about leadership the hard way. The first year and a half, I was literally thrown into leadership atmosphere because my team grew so quick, so fast. And I think I ended up turning out to be more of a nag because I simply didn't know how to be a leader. And look at you over there, Lisa. I see you laughing. But even though I lost some team members, I learned a lot about myself and I learned a lot about leadership along the way. And I think a lot of us went through that. our growth just happened so fast that we were learning as we went. We were ignorance on fire, as Lindsay says, total ignorance on fire. But if you ever get a chance, this book is on Amazon. It's like $8 or $9, maybe 10 at the most. It's called Wisdom from Mama by Michelle May O'Neill. Sonia, you are not at Turtle Space. Now you have to say something positive about yourself. Type it in there. Yeah, now you got to type something positive. Okay. So I just want you to think about when you're, with different folks and so forth. You're funny. Yeah. I want you to think about what those people are as part of your team. Okay. Or like I have a really good friend. She was over here earlier this afternoon, and she can't thrive with me due to health concerns and so forth. I mean, she just flat out can't. But you know what she does do for me? She supports me mentally all the time. And she'll ask me, hey, how's business going? What's going on today? Oh my gosh, I saw that you earned your trip, blah, 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 blah. And so she and I lift each other up in a lot of different ways. So she's, in some ways, she's not only my spiritual supporter, but she's also my encourager. She's not necessarily a leader in the companies, so to speak, but she provides several of those things all within one. It's kind of like that old adage that they say that you really need to be married to 5 different guys, because then you're going to have the perfect guy. Do you know what I mean? Like somebody will cook, somebody cleans, somebody does laundry, da 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 da, because it's hard to find them all in one guy. So I heard something like that a long time ago. Don't quote me. But before we hop off of here, I don't want your limiting beliefs to keep you from jumping in and doing what you know that you can do. Okay. As we start April tomorrow, and you're looking at, okay, how do I get people to even get a sample? Da, 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 da. Be yourself, put yourself out there on social media. You don't have to be perfect, because obviously when I did my video yesterday, I had just dried my hair. It was all over the place. I'd shown up at the dentist, and it wasn't even my day to be at the dentist. And I went ahead and went live. You know why? Because it shows that I'm human just like everybody else is. I screw up just like everybody else does, and that's what people need to see. And people need to laugh at that and realize, yes, she may be in Thrive, but okay, you don't have to be perfect to be in Thrive. Heck no, you don't have to be perfect to be in Thrive. You just got to have passion. And every single person who's on here, there is a leader who probably sees something in you that you don't see in yourself. I want you to go to who your leader is and say, hey, I know that there's something that you see in me that I don't see in myself. I want to know exactly what it is, because I want to grab hold of that and I want to run with it. I want to run with it. And I think it's easy for us to believe that we're not ready when we really and truly are. So last thing I want you to do for this week, I know I get my pointer finger going. I'm sorry, y'all. That's the kindergarten teacher in me. So bad. I want you to have, if you need to add to your names, not necessarily somebody who's got a free account just yet, but if you need to tweak and look at your names of people that you've reached out to and so forth, you can't keep coming around in the same circle. Branch out. Okay. Branch out, find more names that you can go friend request, find people that you can send messages to. Now, I don't know how many of y'all on here are on Instagram. Oh, I have less than a minute. I may have to save this for next week. If you do a post in Instagram, okay, you can actually, if you have a business profile in Instagram, you can hit the promote button on your post. You can pay like $3 a day for it to run and be populated, like maybe 3 days in a row, whatever. And I don't do it very often because I'm cheap, but I did that with my post that had my picture with my DFT on it. And I talked about, your beliefs, and what you're going to be able to do starts with your mindset, blah, 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 blah. So I did a promotion with that one. I paid like $3 a day for 6 days. So the first day, and you can choose whether you want messages coming at you or website hits or a combination, whatever. So 3 days ago, I had 30 website hits, 30 different people with 80 some odd people looking at stuff. It was insane. I'll go into that more next week. And we didn't even get to closing the sale. Oh, okay. So we know what's on for next week. We'll talk about IG, Instagram, and how to do the promote part, and then closing the sale as well. Once you've got these out, you've got to have these out before you can close the sale. Yes, exactly. So I'm writing my notes for that for next week, y'all. So be here same time next Wednesday, and we'll continue on with that. But anyway, thank y'all for being on here. I appreciate those of y'all that were popping in chat group. Somebody take a picture real quick. Hurry, take a picture. Lisa, take a picture before we end. And I hope everybody has a great rest of the week. Let's finish March strong and start April with a bang. So big hugs. Love y'all. Bye.